name is Megan. Today I'm doing my informative speech. I'm doing it on why or why not you should spay or neuter your dog. An unspayed, just imagine this. An unspayed female dog comes in. She's lethargic, not eating. A putrid odor submerges the room instantly. A repugnant slime is oozing from under her tail. An ultrasound is done, but everybody already knows the cause of these nauseating symptoms. It's what's called a pyometra. Due to the dog's intact ovaries, the dog has developed an infected uterus. Many people believe that it's inhuman to spay or neuter their dogs and cats, that it's a cruel offense, while other people have had it pounded into their heads that neutering or spaying is a must. However, as one veterinary explained it to me, there's a lot of give and take in this decision. It's different in all situations. Male dogs, male and female cats. There's a give and take with every single one. The first group is male dogs. This cartoon is a perfect example of how unneutered dogs can act. That video showed perfectly how male unneutered dogs can act. So, the first group is male dogs. If the dog is neutered at a young age, this can avoid behavioral issues. It can reduce leg lifting, dominance and aggression, the risk of them being attacked by other unneutered males, sexual behaviors, risk of prostate disorders, and risk of perennial fistulas. It also helps refocus their attention and calms them around unspayed females, and of course prevents testicular cancer and obviously from them breeding. Also, something to think about is it lowers the licensing fees. However, the flip side is that neutering triples the risk of obesity and hypothyroidism. It also increases the risk of geriatric cognitive impairment, and if done too early, the risk of hip dysplasia, ligament rupture, and osteosarcoma, a type of bone cancer, and also a deadly but rare cancer called hemangiosarcoma. And of course, there's always a risk when the pet is under anesthesia. However, this isn't a cut and dry thing either. It's not to say that the dog will never lift his leg if he's neutered, and it's not to say that the dog will definitely become obese if the dog will never become obese if he's unneutered. It depends on the age he's neutered, the size, the breed of the dog. There are many factors rolled into this decision. The next group is female dogs. There are many. Spaying prevents the owner from having to deal with the messy and smelly conditions of the heat cycle, or as Foster and Smith say, estrus. Another thing avoided is mammary cancer, tumors of the reproductive tract, uterine infections, false pregnancies, and hair coat problems. I learned after doing this research that when dogs go into heat too many times, they start losing their hair and they have a lot of hair coat problems. The cons of spaying are almost the same as the cons for neutering, with only slight differences. Spaying only doubles the risk of obesity, however, it also triples the risk of hypothyroidism and the deadly but rare cancer called hemangiosarcoma. Also, if done too early, it can increase the risk of hip dysplasia, ligament rupture, osteosarcoma, and urinary incontinence. Unlike neutering, the pros associated to spaying can be applied to most all dogs, where the cons and most diseases they would be highly susceptible to if unspayed are life-threatening and almost unavoidable and extremely expensive surgeries. However, the cons vary between different dogs, different breeds, just like the neutering. and most are not life-threatening diseases, and if they are, they're rare. So the final group is kitty cats. There aren't many cons to spaying or neutering cats. For female cats, spaying makes ovarian cancer impossible and also dramatically reduces the risk of cervical cancer. It also eliminates undesirable behaviors. An unspayed female cat will go into heat 3 to 4 times a year. During this time, she may meow constantly or try to get out of the house. Another thing to consider is if she goes into heat several times without mating, this can make her depressed, and this leads to anorexia, diarrhea, and vomiting. And the flip side, if they are unspayed and you want them to have a litter, it's a huge responsibility to have because these cats have 15 to 20 kittens a litter. You'd have to find homes for every single one of those. 20 people, you'd have to find homes for each kitten. You know, even sanctuaries can't do that, and adoption places. Now, male cats also benefit greatly from being neutered. It eliminates the risk of testicular cancer and a number of behaviors that can make owning a cat difficult. For example, they are less territorial, rarely spray urine, and the urine will not smell nearly as strong. Neutering will also dramatically reduce the amount they fight. In my opinion, I think an unneutered or a neutered cat is one of the best cats that you can own because he's the sweetest thing and he doesn't smell bad and they're just very sweet and docile. So, for most animals, the resolution is obvious. Do the positives outweigh the negatives? The only decision that might be a little tricky is neutering the dog. The verdict all depends on the type of dog owned. Hopefully next time, those nauseating symptoms, the putrid smell, the repugnant slime, this can all be avoided with the help of a little education. Thank you.